So have you completed the travel essay?
Yes, sir, I've completed.
Should have sent it to me, no?
Just completed
Before the
before.
class? Oh.
Yeah.
Isha, an opinion essay would look something like this. One sec. It would have a statement. And by essay, I mean task 2, okay? And then it will be accompanied by a question that would look like either to what extent do you agree or disagree? Or simply do you agree or disagree? Now, again, it will say that you have to write at least 250 words and you should give examples from your knowledge or experience. And the thing is that as in sometimes, as I've explained to you the band descriptors, so it is not about innovative ideas. It is not about revolutionary ideas in IS. It's more about making your point clear. So the first thing that I would say is that keep your ideas easy. Don't be too technical. Don't be too, I would say, creative over there. The idea should be simple. They should be, you should be actually able to explain them properly with relevant examples. And then, of course, as I told you on the first day when we were discussing the nitty-gritty of task 2, that uh, point explain example, that's a good strategy that I use. Okay, so a statement will look something like, okay, I'll show you one question now. One sec. Isha, can you see the question?
Yes, sir.
So give it a read in your mind. Okay, since I have typed this, so it doesn't have the accompanying statements, but as you saw, okay, there could be a sample of that sort also. First of all, read it, a read of it, and then I'll tell you.
Yes, sir, I've read.
Okay, I need to show you something else once. These essays are on my blog, so you can see them whenever you like. Uh, a proper IELTS essay would have these statements also. Um, that was also an IELTS essay, but that I had two types, so I didn't write the accompanying statements. So this would be there for sure, as in give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Write at least 250 words. This I had taken, from the Cambridge book, so that's why it is word for word. So you should spend 40 minutes on this task. They as in suggest that we spend 40 minutes on task 2 and 20 minutes on task 1, and then we have to give reasons and write at least 250 words and include relevant examples and blah blah blah. Let's come to the question of the day. Uh, so as you have seen here that it asks to what extent do you agree or disagree, whatever the statement is. Now remember, they do not require you to take any particular stance. They would not require you to either agree or disagree. They would not require you to go the middle way. They won't require you to do anything that is more psychological than linguistic. It's up to you. If you can, first of all, what should be there is that you think about ideas, as in you can make like you agree or you disagree, and you should have three solid points. As in, what I've seen is that um, most students need to have 3 points in order to write 250 words. I sometimes manage with 2 points only, but to be on a safer side, I insist that you think about three ideas. So the thing is that do not force yourself to agree or disagree or both or anything. It's up to you. There can be several cases that you uh, have three agreement ideas. There can be a case where you have three disagreement ideas. There can be a case that you have one agreement and two disagreement ideas. There can be a case that two agreement and one disagreement idea. Perfectly fine. It's up to you how much you want to agree and how much you want to disagree. The IELTS won't require you to take any particular psychological path. They will all only see that if you have taken this particular direction, are you able to justify your stance or not? And apart from that, do not again, as in, whenever you have the question, just don't start writing, you know, on the spot. I've seen people doing this and they land up in a disaster. Try to think for as in, unless the essay is in your mind, um, do not write it on the paper also. As in, it should be there, it should be clear in your, from the first word to the last word of the essay, you should have it clear in your mind that what you're going to write, what your position is, because it should be cohesive. It should be um, one solid piece of writing that has all points supporting one another, and not one is here and that is there and the third is over there. It should not be anything like gas molecules going here and there. It should be right, a solid piece. So again, how to think about ideas. Do not force yourself that you have to agree or disagree. Just think about it. When you read this statement, what comes to your mind?
Sir, can we write a rough draft? Like,
Of course, you'll have a question paper, so you can write points over there. For now, also you can use a paper. When you're ready with your first idea, you'll have to justify it also to me. As in, I will not accept an idea only. You'll have to justify, as in why this is the case, and then we'll see. It's okay. You can take your time and think about.
sir, I would say that technology has technology has made students very dumb, and they are more reliable on technology. And if we say anything to a child to develop just a paragraph of writing, so they are not able to do. Whereas if you tell that child to write it on computer, they can do it on computer.
See, it is not that whether they know writing by hand or not. It is that if we teach them this skill, is that going to be a waste of time or is it going to be fruitful? Technology has made them dumb enough to not be if technology has made them dumb enough to be not able to write anything by hand, even a paragraph. That is something you are agreeing to the statement that you are agreeing with the statement that technology has negative effects. It's about, if I have a child over here
Hmm.
and I go teach him the art of writing by hand, is that going to be an unnecessary activity? If yes, you should prove why it is going to be unnecessary. If it is wrong, you should prove why it is necessary. You should not give me a reason for why people are not able to write. The question doesn't say that technology has hampered the art of writing by hand. It says that in our modern age, if we teach a child the art of handwriting, it is going to be unnecessary. We do not need to do it. If you agree with this statement, you will have to prove why it is unnecessary. If you disagree, you'll have to prove why it is necessary.
Sir, nowadays, like e-classes, e-smart classes are used, and on one end they have a benefit, like they are more convenient, but it gives a negative impact. For example, if I if I take my example, I'm taking online class, and the main negative impact is like I generally prefer by writing, generally learn by writing things. So it hampers somewhere.
Hampers what?
Like some in learning we have two options, like some children learn by seeing things, like seeing videos or something. Some learn by speaking, like so if we are not writing, we are just able to cram things. We are not able to express our views in a good manner.
Maybe we are talking about these cognitive abilities, the
Yes, sir.
mind related things. I'll give you a simple statement as in one second. What's your best friend's name?
Sir, I don't have a best friend now. Okay, Neha Sharma.
So I
Because
say,
I'm busy in customers only, I've just left all.
it's okay, it's okay. Don't, as in, even I don't have a friend. Neha is a good girl. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Okay. So if you agree, you'll have to give me a point that proves her goodness. If you disagree, you'll have to give me a point that disproves her goodness. You cannot give me reasons for how she has become good, or how she is going to contribute to society and blah blah blah. If she is good, as in give me properties, you know, justifying her goodness. For instance, I can say Neha is a good girl. I agree because she is honest. Okay, so I can say in the body paragraph, I can say Neha is good. The first reason for her being good is that she is honest. Uh, in other words, she is always going to deal with with her customers properly. She's a banker, so she always deals with her customers properly, and she never manipulates people. And honesty is something that is required for goodness in the world. So she is, consequently, she's a good girl. And you can give an example in between that. Once she had you know gotten more money than necessary from a bank customer, and she returned it honestly. This is how you cannot say she's a good girl and she's going to develop parks in the community. That is something that, is Neha going to do something good in the world? Now if you have to prove her goodness, you'll have to give properties that justify her goodness. If you disagree, you can say Neha is a good girl. I disagree. Why? Because she is always maybe she's very irritable. That is to say, she gets irritated easily, even at the slightest disturbances. As in, and people who get irritated cannot uh, contribute anything to the world, so they are of no good value. For instance, once a child had just poked her, and the child was quite small, and she slapped him for such a small reason. So she gets irritated very easily. As in, you do not have to have a big reason to irritate her. So you can say she's not a good girl. This is how you prove. And if I have these 2 points, I can say I partly agree with the statement. Why? Because I have one agreement and one disagreement, so I'm proving both sides. Now have you gotten it, as in how you agree or disagree to a statement?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So if I'm saying that that it is some people say the skill of handwriting is unnecessary. I'll have to prove why it is unnecessary if I agree. Now, suppose I have 3 points. First I'll think, as in I'll frame the essay in my mind. Agree, disagree. Suppose I have 3 points which make me prove that this thing is unnecessary. So my thesis would be, as in my opinion would be that this essay completely agrees with the statement. On the other hand, if I have 3 disagreement points, then I would say this essay completely disagrees. If I want to write one agree and one disagree, I would say this essay partly agrees with the statement. And suppose I write one agree and 2 disagree points, I would say this essay disagrees more than it agrees with the given statement. You can go any way. It's up to you. Just have to justify your arguments. Now let's see what I've written. First of all, okay, I need to tell you the format again. It should be something like the first part should deal with introduction. It is recommended that you paraphrase the terms in the given statement, as in you should change them using appropriate words. For instance, unnecessary can be rewritten as not essential. Handwriting can be paraphrased to be writing by hand. You can change the structure also. So the more words you change from the given statement, the better it is, though it is not the only way to write an introduction. So up to you. But as in examiners apparently look for paraphrasing, though they are not in the band descriptors. So let's play safe. You will paraphrase as many terms as you can, but it doesn't mean that only the paraphrasing, the changing of words is going to be your sole introduction. You can write a background statement also, which is a good start to an essay. Then paragraph 2, for this essay I've taken only 2 points. So I was able to write more than 250 words with them only. So that's why I didn't use the third point. I didn't want to waste time. So paragraph 2 will come up with your first reason, introduction plus your thesis. As in, I agree, I disagree, I partly, this essay disagrees more than it agrees, or something of this sort. Paragraph 2 would come up with your first reason, and it should be like reason. It should be fragmented into 3 parts: point, explain, example. I'll write an offhand piece here. Don't take it seriously. Just to explain to you the mechanism. We'll take that example only, the Neha example. The first reason for her goodness is her honesty. This is my point. Now I'll explain it. That is to say, Neha never deals with anyone dishonestly. Okay. I'm going to continue on the left side now. Since honesty is required for goodness, Neha is Good. For example, okay, then I'll write an example or something. So first first I wrote my point that as in the first reason for her goodness is her honesty. Then I explained it, and then I'll give an example to justify my stance. This is how you go about body paragraph. Not the only way, but a right way for sure. As in, it is endorsed by the official website of IELTS also. They have written peel technique, point, explain. I think point, example, explain, and linker. This is a kind of, I would say, similar thing. So let's come to the essay, how I've used it there. So first of all, I wrote an introduction. Humans have thoughts. Thoughts have to come out through speaking or writing. We have been doing these two activities since time immemorial. The use of the mouth has remained very well recognized throughout for speaking. Nonetheless, writing by hand has been losing its importance with the arrival of typing. As a consequence, a few individuals now put forth that teaching the art of writing by hand to our young ones is redundant. Redundant means unnecessary. This essay opposes such individuals on this viewpoint. By opposes, you must have gotten like, what is my, what my stance is, that I have
Disagree.
disagreed. As in, I would prove that this activity is not unnecessary. I repeat the thing. Humans have thoughts. Thoughts have to come out through speaking or writing. We have been doing these two activities since time immemorial. Time immemorial means, you know, way back, maybe since the start, or not the start, since the start of the writing and all. The use of the mouth has remained very well recognized throughout for speaking. Nonetheless, writing by hand has been losing its importance with the arrival of typing. As a consequence, a few individuals now put forth that teaching the art of writing by hand to young ones is redundant. This essay opposes such individuals on this viewpoint. Now I'll try to prove my stance. To begin with, textual aids are digital and technology is unreliable. That is to say, when we have to convey thoughts, we use digital resources. These resources include emails and social media. However, such resources can go out. They are reliant on various parameters, for instance, electricity, network, and battery power. If any of these malfunctions, we are unable to write our thoughts. On the other hand, if a person knows how to write in pen or pencil, he just needs a piece of paper. So the point is that digital writing is dependent on a lot of parameters, and even if one of them malfunctions, if it is not working properly, the whole scenario of writing is going to be hampered. On the other hand, if I see the case of writing by hand, you just need something to write on and some a pen or a pencil. So that's simpler, that's more convenient. So the activity should be there. Understood?
Yes, sir.
To begin with, textual aids are digital and technology is unreliable. That is to say, when we have to convey thoughts, we use digital resources. These resources include emails and social media. I've given the example here only. However, such resources can go out. Go out means stop working. They are reliant on various parameters, for instance, electricity, network, and battery power. If any of these malfunctions, we are unable to write our thoughts. On the other hand, if a person knows how to write in pen or pencil, he just needs a piece of paper. So you should teach the art of writing by hand. Similarly, that was paragraph 2. Now paragraph 3. Similarly, more virtual writing means greater exposure to screens. Thus, if the young are solely reliant on technological devices for written communication, they may impair their vision. To illustrate, many children in my knowledge have gotten spectacles owing to online education in the COVID pandemic. Hence, children need to commit things to paper so as to be able to have proper eyesight. Here, what I put that you should teach them writing by hand, because if they were solely reliant on writing on screen, their eyesight could get hampered, and they might not be able to have proper eyesight at later stages. So in order to prevent that, you can make them write things on paper or write by hand. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So after, as in you have stated your reasons, comes a paragraph called conclusion. Now, conclusion in IELTS should have, in a nutshell, whatever is written above. So what I do is that I summarize my body paragraphs along with the thesis statement. As in, the last paragraph should be the conclusion paragraph. In conclusion, digitalization has given us many tools for writing our thoughts. Even so, handwriting remains an essential life skill. As explained above, this is owing to the fact that digital tools are not as dependable as handwriting, which was my first reason, as in they are unreliable. In addition to that, vision-wise, they are not healthy, which was my second reason. Consequently, for a secure future of the upcoming adults, we should equip them with the art of handwriting now. Understood, Isha?
Yes, sir.
If you want to read this essay, you can go to the blog and it's there, or you can see it on my Instagram also. As in, I've just linked it to my blog. So up to you, and it's available there. Fine. If you've understood it, we can move on to the next part now.
Yes, sir. I have understood.
I gave you 2 minutes. Think about the whole process of today, and if you have any problems regarding the agreement disagreement essay as a whole, I'll justify it. I'll give you 5 minutes, and then we'll start your speaking test. Take your time, as in no problem. Do you want me to go to any previous slide or maybe written work?
No, sir. I have already written.
Okay.
Sir, if we have more points, so do we need to specify all the points or just write hardly 2 or 3?
If it crosses the threshold of 250, you have already done the job in regard to how much you write. So don't waste time writing. If as in with only 2 ideas, I was beyond that limit, so I didn't waste time writing the third point, because you have to write. You have only 1 hour for completing both tasks, so you have to write the letter also. So don't waste time. As in, it should aim at writing the required number of words. It doesn't matter after 250 if you write 5 ideas or 7 ideas or 3 ideas. Nothing of that sort is going to give you any higher score.
Sir, do presentation matter in this?
Presentation, not girl. So I'm gonna sound sexist now. Not that girly one, as in you don't have to underline anything or that sort.
Mhm.
Handwriting would matter, as in because if your if your handwriting is illegible, you might be because there's a column in the there's a column in that there's a cell in that answer sheet of the official answer sheet of writing, and they you know they have this cell that requires the examiner to tick it if your handwriting is illegible. So if it is not, if the examiner is not able to read what you have written, you might suffer a little or maybe more. So only your handwriting should be good, as in it should be readable, and there should be spaces between paragraphs. Nothing beyond that is required in the context of presentation.
Okay, sir.
And you're going to write your essay in pencil, so try practicing writing in pencil only, because people tend to practice essays in pen, and at that point they are not able to use the pencil. I had taken the test in the online mode, so I just had to type. So because you're going to take the paper version, So I insist that you use a pencil.
So, can we shuffle in between the tasks, like task one
Yeah.
and task two?
I personally write as in I've taken the test 3 times, as you know, and each time I wrote task 2 first. Shuffle as in what are you saying that jumping between 2 tasks as in writing them simultaneously, or as in task 2 first and then task 1?
Yes, sir. Like doing task two first or task
No,
one.
no problem. You are given both question papers as in at one point, so up to you how you want to divide time. As in personally, I devoted 30 minutes to task 2 and 30 minutes to task 1 when my
Like,
exam was finished.
can we give more
Yeah.
time? Can we devote more time on this?
You can as in you have 1 hour, you have to complete 2 tasks. It's up to you. You can the ratio can be 5 to 55, 1 to 59, 20 to 40, up to you.
Okay.
About your homework regarding this type of essay, again you will find it in find it on the blog only. And your homework question is this one. Let me see. Yeah, this one. Okay, so it's a big photo. Sorry. A person's worth nowadays seems to be judged according to social status. To what extent you can see, as in the November 1 essay. Okay, you will see when you tap the menu button on the mobile version of the blog, you will, when you tap writing task 2, you will see first, second, third. So the 4th essay is your homework. You can take hints from my sample essay, but try to avoid that. Try to write an original piece. There's a sample answer, but try not to see it. And then shall we move to the speaking test now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. One second.